Good evening, everyone. It is my desire to be the next DNC chair, and I just want to give you all a little bit of something that's been on my heart here over the last couple of days. You fight on, you fight on, you fight on, you fight on. When your government is doing you wrong, you fight on, oh, you fight on.
Several months later.
Took back what he stole from us, took it back, took back
our dignity,
took it back.
took back our humanity.
Well, we
went down to the rich man's house and we took back what he stole from us.
took it back.
Took back our dignity.
Sing, y'all, took it back.
Took back our humanity.
Democrats are holding their summer intervention. You hear about this? They even wrote themselves a fight song. Primetime obtained the lyrics. I won't sing it. I'll read it, kind of like a rapper, because that's where I come from. Those are my roots. DEMS, we rise stronger together. Heard that phrase before. Blue skies, lift your voice. All right. There's probably another phrase, but we don't have much time in the show. The only thing missing is Tim Walz and his pom-poms. I'm sure he was having a great time clapping for everybody who showed up in Minneapolis, where he is governor. This wasn't the only headliner from the intervention. We told you about the land acknowledgement that they opened up with. They demanded that Walz give Minneapolis back to Pocahontas and her tribe. Spoiler alert, at the end of the convention, they don't give it up.
Boy. So once again, we got to talk about the party of weirdos, freaks, lunatics, high-calorie women, and low-testosterone men, a.k.a. the Democrat Party, okay? Because the Democrat Party has embarrassed themselves so much that Democrat operatives are now going off on the Democrats, the DNC, for their woke convention that included a fight song, okay, a very cringe fight song, and land acknowledgement, right? Acknowledging that the land of Minneapolis has in fact been stolen, right? It's been stolen, okay? That they're on stolen land. And James Carville, who is a Democrat operative, took issue with this because he has been one of these people who've come out and told Democrats, hey, you're too far left specifically on social issues, right? All of this woke stuff is going to cause us to lose elections. And boy, he lost it, right? He absolutely lost it over the DNC humiliating themselves once again for the world to see at the latest convention. Take a look.
This is Lindy Somek, who is from the Saginaw Ojibwe Nation, and she's going to deliver our land acknowledgement today. Lindy.
Bonjour, Lindy Somek, Nindichinikas, Amik Saginaw Chippewa Dojaba, Anishinaabe Kwe and Dow. Good morning, DNC members, friends, and relatives. Let's talk about the land for a second. The DNC acknowledges and honors the Dakota Oyate, the Dakota people, who are the original stewards of the lands and waters of Minneapolis. The Dakota cared for the lands, lakes, and the Wakatonka, the Great River, the Mississippi River, for thousands of years before colonization. This land was not claimed or traded. It's a part of a history of broken treaties and promises. And in many ways, we still live in a system built to suppress Indigenous peoples' cultural and spiritual history. As Democrats,
I think a good site. The Democratic National Committee, DNC, received criticism and ridicule Monday after it began with an indigenous land acknowledgement. DNC Chairman Ken Martin began the meeting by inviting Lindy Somick, Sowmick, I'm reading from here, a self-described indigenous queer woman, unquote, to acknowledge the land had been taken from the Dakota people. Good morning, DNC members, friends, and relatives. Let's talk about the land for a second, said Sowick. The DNC acknowledges and honors Dakota Oyate, O-Y-A-T-E, Dakota people, original stewards of the land. Okay, lady, you're right. That land, what we did to Native Americans is really been well documented, and it is a sad part of our nation's history. Why are you bringing this up in an election? Okay, what we did, but all kinds of things with slavery, with experiment with drugs, what we did during what happened in the Confederacy during the Civil War, and Andersonville, and it's okay. This is an election, and the DNC is not the place to discuss this. Understand this. The DNC does not exist to right wrongs. It doesn't exist to acknowledge the more unpleasant parts of history. It doesn't exist to make people feel good. It exists, get this through your head, to win elections. Now, do you think that is going to help us win elections, say, like we did in Iowa, which is, I think, close to Minnesota? My geography is there. By talking about land theft from the Dakotas. We're not. Please stop this in the name of a just, merciful God. Don't you see what's happening? Don't you see where this has brought us to? For God's sakes, lady, what is Ken Martin doing that? You don't have but one job, Ken. It's to win. No, honestly, I bet she's probably a friend of yours from Minnesota. I'm sure she's a perfectly elegant, nice person. That has nothing to do with this. You're supposed to try to win fucking elections.
Agreed.
Before we leave this, in case you're wondering, Fox was over this like stink on ship. They were all over it, as you could well imagine.
Well, yeah, of course, right? Of course, because Democrats, once again, are showing why is it that their approval rating is at an all-time low, right? I mean, it's approaching the single digits at this point, right? I think it's about, 20%? Probably lower than that, okay? Yeah, I mean, that's part of the reason why. The DNC, which is, again, the Democrat Party, they're showing you just how much they're in bed with woke lunatics, right? Where you're doing land acknowledgments, okay? And see, again, this type of stuff that easily all Republicans got to do is just put this in an ad, right? Just put it in ads and just play this and remind people, hey, these are the people that will govern the country for the last 4 years, right? Do you want those people back in power, right? These people. Again, I always find it to be so hilarious how Kamala Harris and Tim Walz thought it was a good idea to campaign on calling Trump supporters weird, right?
You know it, you feel it. These guys are creepy, and yes, just weird as hell. That's what you see. These guys come up with the weirdest damn ideas that you will ever imagine. You know it's true.
Yeah. The party of cringe fight songs and land acknowledgments tried to tell half the country that we're weird, right? That we're creepy and we're weird, right? Absolutely unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. So, again, you know it's bad, right? You know it's really bad when even TYT, when they're roasting the Democrats for their cringe convention, right? You know it's really, really, really bad. So, without further ado, let's get into this.
Democrats, for better or for worse, are trying to not just mobilize their base, but to really get their base like fired up and excited for like a big, busy, buzzy midterm season. And there is apparently now a Democratic fight song, and we all have to learn it now because nobody wants to be the person at the rallies who doesn't know the lyrics to the fight song. So embarrassing. It really does feel like they're taking their cues from high school pep rallies. But at the Democratic National Committee meeting in Minneapolis this week, attendees were led in song and they were encouraged to sing along, and they had the lyrics up on the screen and everything. So here are the lyrics, and you guys can follow along at home. DEMS, we rise, stronger together, blue skies. Lift your voice, we're bold and true. Onward, Democrats, we shine blue.
No.
Okay, I was never a cheerleader, so that was my best go at it. DNC Chairman Ken Martin also told Democrats that they need to bring a bazooka to a knife fight. Better late than never, I guess. And they need to grow a damn spine. Here's what he said. Now look, folks, I'm sick and tired of this Democratic Party bringing a pencil to a knife fight. We cannot be the only party that plays by the rules anymore. So, Elliot, did you like the song? Have you committed it to memory? And will you be singing it at the next Democratic rally that you attend?
You know, I'm actually changing my political affiliation right now after that. I think this is the straw that broke the camel's back. Honestly, when I first read this headline, I thought it was going to be that, which I'm not going to sing it, but that song is like, "This Is My Fight Song." You know that song?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, and it was somehow even worse. What they're doing. I mean, the Democrats are not the coolest people. I will say that, unfortunately. And this is so embarrassing. And they also, even when they're trying to sound tough, this sort of like, we are sick and tired of it. It's so just like, come on, man. You guys got to do a little better than this.
Yeah, I mean, when the zesty liberal man, right? When the zesty liberal man, right, is saying the Democrats sound weak, that this is cringe, that this is embarrassing, you know it was bad, right? You know it's really bad, okay? Yeah, when you're being roasted by progressives, that's bad, right? Democrats are in a bad place because that is who they're appealing to, right? They're trying to get their progressive base, the lunatics in their party, excited, right, for the Democrats, right? So they can fight Trump, right? So they can take down Hitler. Okay, that is what they're trying to do. But it seems as if it had the opposite effect, right? That's how cringe it was.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Democrats.
One day.
Well, yeah, maybe make Democrats great again. So because back in the day, I mean, JFK was a badass, right? And you could argue Clinton was cool and Obama was cool. I wouldn't argue Bill Clinton's cool today, right? But could have made the argument back then.
Back in the day, he was.
What's that?
Yeah, back in the day, in the 90s, he was the coolest thing that anybody had seen. He was playing the saxophone on Arsenio, you know?
Yeah. And so, but like, they seem so unaware. I think that's the real thing, right? So you do a fight song. It depends on how you do it. I guess you could have fun with it, but you gotta like be a little self-effacing, right? Understand that it's dorky. Like if you own the dork, that's okay. But if you don't realize you're being dorky, like I wrote a poem called Hope, and I read it on air a couple of times over the years. And one of the hilarious lines in it is that blue I see? Is that hope I feel? But I own the dork, right? Like I know it's funny, right?
No, it's not funny, Cenk. Right? It's not funny at all. Again, these are the type of people that Democrats are trying to appeal to. And even these types of people are like, nah, Democrats are too cringe for me, right? Again, the cringiest people like Cenk, extremely cringe, right? Even he's like, yeah, no, this is weird, right? So again, when the weirdos and the freaks are saying, hey, you know, this is kind of weird, right? Understand that it is very weird, right? It is turning off probably 75, 80, 85, 90% of the country, okay? You know this because you have, again, these Democrat operatives who are coming out and saying out loud that, yeah, this is just not a good look, right? All of this stuff that Democrats are doing, the language, the weird way that they talk, right? It's just not good for us, right? It's just not good for us at all. Again, this conversation, the Bullock, okay, which is a bunch of people who hate Trump, right? They're going to talk about how the language that Democrats use is not helping them. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this.
I think that's exactly right. And I think Newsom, as Sarah notes, Newsom being kind of the anti-Trump is one thing. And then the thing that scares me is that the other person that has stepped out as the leader of our party, God help us, is a Democratic socialist running for mayor of New York. And like, that is not good. There is no question that he is dynamic and a great communicator and handsome and really good at new media and all of those things. And he's going to be mayor. He's going to win that race. Mm-hmm. But he's also a member of the Democratic Socialists of America, and they are crazy people. And that stuff is easily weaponized against Democrats. But all of a sudden, kind of the bulk of the party, the party tastemakers are really gravitating towards Mamdani, and that is very, very scary.
So, yeah, and the enthusiasm for Mamdani is not an isolated thing in the Democratic Party. I mean, let's look at what just happened at their summer meeting in Minneapolis, okay? The DNC, which is not the whole party, but which is the organ that's supposed to represent the party, had their meeting. And the first thing they did was they had a land acknowledgement. That was the opening statement. And then they heard from on the subject of crime and policing. The person they turned to for a lecture was Insha Rahman of the Vera Institute. Now, I have to say, I don't know her, and she says in some of the news accounts, she says that she was emphasizing being tough on crime. I don't know. I didn't hear the speech. But here's what I do know from looking at the website of the Vera Institute. It's all about ending mass incarceration, dignity behind bars, end the criminalization of people of color, immigrants, and people experiencing poverty, drastically reduce the use of jails, prisons, etc. That codes in a certain way to voters.
It codes that you're soft as hell on crime. You're soft on crime. That you're a crazy person. That you're a lunatic. That's how it codes. And they know it. Even the never Trumpers know it, right? Everybody knows it. Okay? It's funny to me. It's just so funny to watch this party. These people, this coalition of again, Trump deranged lunatics. Okay? You have progressive lunatics. Okay? This coalition of people, they're falling apart because they're realizing that, hey, we all don't fit in this big tent. Okay, I don't understand how so-called never Trump Republicans and progressives can get in the same bed because they hate Trump, right? It doesn't make sense. It never made sense, and that's why this coalition is not going to work. It's not going to work. That's why you're seeing these types of conversations. The DNC is going to struggle. The Democrats are going to struggle trying to thread the needle. I've talked about this so many times, but it's true. You cannot thread this needle of appealing to sane people with common sense, and progressive whack jobs. You just can't do it. Trump hate is not going to be enough. It's not going to be enough. I'm telling you.
Doesn't it, Matt? I mean, it suggests more sympathy for criminals than for their victims.
Yeah, look, the Vera Institute is a very well-meaning group of people, and they're advocates for cashless bail and a whole bunch of stuff that the left likes, and they do their job well in that regard. The problem wasn't the Vera Institute. The problem was Ken Martin's DNC invited the Vera Institute to give a talk about the politics of crime. Yeah. Remember, this isn't like a talk to a bunch of governors or mayors about how to deal with crime. This is the DNC. Right. This is like how to deal with the politics of crime. And they invited her to give that talk. And that was crazy because she's exactly the wrong person to be telling Democrats how to deal with crime in the age of Trump. And just the very language that they use, I mean, persons experiencing poverty, like that is just not how people talk. People say poor people. Yeah. And like that it just codes, as you say, it codes very lefty and the land acknowledgments. It's like if the Republicans had sat around and whiteboarded what could be the best possible thing the Democrats could do for us at their convention, it would have been that.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. They're full-blown panic. Full-blown panic. That is embarrassing. It really is. Again, Democrats are on life support. And there's no sign that they're going to recover, right? Zero signs of recovery. You can't make it up. It's been almost a year now since the election, right? Almost a year. Okay, what is it, September? Okay, so yeah, we're at Labor Day. It's been almost a year, and they have not recovered at all. In fact, it's gotten worse. It's gotten worse for them. They have not figured it out yet, and it's been a year since the election. And they got one more year before the midterms. Are they going to figure it out before the end? I don't know. Because, again, I don't think that they can pull off the impossible. I don't think they can do what they're trying to do, which, again, is to appeal to the lunatics and sane people at the same time. And as you can see at this DNC convention, the DNC, which is running out of cash, by the way, they're going broke, right? They can't thread that needle, right? Normal, regular people watch it, even the progressives, even some progressives, okay, who are not as insane. They're watching it and they're like, wow, this party is crazy. This party is nuts, right? Why are they doing this? Okay, is this really what the Democrats are about, right? Being soft on crime, land acknowledgements, cringe fight songs. I'm just saying, right? I'm just saying. It don't look good. It does not look good when all of these people are coming out and talking about how bad the DNC convention was. That's not a good sign at all, right? You're supposed to be getting people excited. People are supposed to be excited for what the Democrat Party is presenting, but they're not, right? Because they don't stand for anything except being against Trump. And I just don't think that's going to be enough, right? I will say it over and over and over again because it's true, and it's turning out to be true thus far. Again, just look at all the reactions to the DNC convention. It's not just Fox News roasting them. It's progressives. It's never Trumpers. Everybody's like, what is this, right? What's going on here? So, hey, let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.